everybody, it's Leslie here with Pilates On Demand. Welcome back to our channel. This month's series is called Fill in the Plank, where I'm going to be helping you find the plank that feels most comfortable for your body. Planks are like the exercise that just keep on giving. They can work the whole body, and there are literally a million ways to get it done. So each week we are going to take a position of plank and break it down and play with the lengths of the planks. Try saying that 5 times fast. And then we will play with the stability of our plank in each of those positions. So long planks, short planks, floating planks, moving planks, meeting planks, they are all headed your way this month. We are going to do this class with just a mat, but you can also add a cushion if that'll feel good for your knees or your hands or your wrists or your elbows. Alternatively, you could do this class with your hands on a bar, a chair, or your couch. This will change the angle of your plank and take some pressure off of your wrists. You could also do this, flip it around, where you put your feet on the chair or on your couch, and it's going to be a whole different pile of fun. All right, so let's get to it. This week is all about side planks, so let's hit the floor. All right, so like I said, today is all about the side plank, which means the front of your body is going to be facing the side of your room, or facing me. So I've got my mat. I tucked little cushions underneath for my elbow and my knees as we get started. You can do that, or you don't need to. It's totally up to you. So we are going to start on one side. You pick which side. I'm going to have my right hand down to start. And so I'm going to start with my knees off to the side. My hip is going to actually stay on the ground here. And my right hand is beside me. It's pushing down. We want the hand not too far from the shoulder. But what we want is we want to draw the waist up so that we're pushing into that hand, creating space between our arm and the body. So this is actually our first plank. So can you find the engagement through the core? Draw the shoulders back, picking up that lower side of the waist away from the ground. Now, if you remember from the first week, we are going to hold a plank, we are going to float a plank, we are going to move a plank, we are going to meet a plank. So in this plank from here, because we can't float too much when we're on the side, we are going to float one arm up. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the arm down, and then we're going to float this top leg. So you can rest the fingertips in front of you. We lift it up, still drawing. We don't want to let this side sink. Keep pulling up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Next one is our moving plank. So we are going to take that arm, we are going to take it out in front of you, and we are going to lift that arm out to the side. So make sure we're not sinking down. We don't want to let our shoulder pass the wrist. Keep pressing down into that hand. We move our plank 5. We tap down. You might be able to see where this is going. Our knees are going to move further and further away from us. Our hips are going to have the option to leave the floor. If that feels good for you, awesome. And down. Hands rest, we lift the leg. 5, lower, 4, keeping this side, you can hold on to it. 3, nice and still. 2, shoulders away from the ears. Last one. All right, so we found our float, we found our move, and now we're gonna do our meet. So pressing into that hand, lifting the body away from the arm. From here, our hand and our knee are going to tap out to the side. So we tap 5, reach, 3, reach, drawing the front of the belly in, turning on those abs to control us. 2, last one, release, and you can bring yourself up. Give your wrist a little roll. For our next set, you are going to keep your hand on the ground, but we have the option to lift the hip. So from here, what we want to do is press into the hand, lift the hip. All right, again, we don't want the hand to be too far away from the shoulder, and we don't want it to be too close to the body, so try and set it up underneath. We're going to start with that hand on our hip for a little balance. You can find the side of your hip, engage through the core, press into your hand, press into the side of your knees, lift that hip away, make sure both hips are facing the front, and we hold here for 5, making sure that elbow's not locking. 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to float that arm, because we're certainly not going to float the bottom arm off the ground. 2, 1, hand back to the waist, floating the top leg, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. All right, take that hand in front of you. We're going to move this plank. We go up for 5 and down. At any time, you can adjust your hand, adjust your knees, lower, last one, bring that hand back to the hip. We take that knee up for 5, lower, 4, keep pressing those hips forward, keep lifting that bottom waist up and away from the ground. Last one, and now we're going to meet our side plank. So hand and knee come together, reach overhead. So little tap. What we want is that our bottom hip doesn't turn into a hinge, our body stays flat, while our elbow, our hand and our knee come closer together. Last one. Lower the hips down, take a little break, roll out the wrists. All right, so if that felt great, we can move into a different variation. If that felt perfect and you'd like to do that again for the next round, do it with your knee on the ground and your hand on the ground. So the next option here is going to be to bend the top leg, plant the foot on the ground behind you, extend the bottom leg straight, keeping that hand on the ground, pressing in, lifting up through the body. Hand finds the waist, we press into the ground. We hold here. This is a side plank. It's a little bit longer. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the arm, float that arm. For 4, keep pressing the hips up. 3, 2, 1. Lower, press your weight into this bent leg. We're gonna try and lift this floor foot up. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Hand comes up, we tap it in front and lift. 4, exhale up. 3, 2, keeping the body still. And then hand comes back to the hip. We're going to move that bottom leg up and down. Spread the toes of the foot that are on the ground, keeping those hips forward. Last one. And finally, if it feels all right, we're going to meet that elbow, hand and knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And bring the hip down. Shake it out. We are going to finish this side. Give the hands a little flick. Your next option is to extend both legs all the way out. All right, we have one more set here with our hand on the ground, and then we're going to go into a forearm variation. So what we are going to do is we are going to stack our top leg in front of our bottom leg. You can also do this with the feet stacked on top of each other if you know that that feels good for you. So legs are crossed, kind of got mermaid legs. Press into the hand, lift the upper body to start, and then maybe you take the body up. If this feels good, you get to float. If it doesn't, go back to one foot on the ground, one leg straight, one bent. Lift that arm, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe you float a leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, lower it back down. We're gonna move that arm. 5. Working to keep still while that arm is moving. It's not easy, but we're gonna finish it. And bring that hand down, picking up that leg, we lift. 5, 4, 3, woo! I'm excited to bring that elbow down too. Last one. All right, hand and elbow, hand and knee meet. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower the hips. Woo! You know when the words aren't coming that it's getting hard, shake it out. So we are gonna go back to our elbow, and we are going to slowly move the legs back in to create a shorter plank. So we are gonna start with the legs fully extended, top leg crossed over, that foot rests in front. So the elbow is underneath the shoulder, hand is on the hips. Same thing as when the hand was on the ground. We don't want this side of the ribs and the waist to collapse, so we press them away from the floor, broadening the collarbones, pressing into the arm, lifting up, finding your side plank, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I just have to adjust my elbow, and we are going to move to our float. So taking that arm up, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finding the leg lifting, ooh, or you hold that side, 2, 1. Let's move that arm up. Now I'm gonna bend my bottom knee because this feels great for me. I feel a little bit more stable. 1, lower it down, lifting that top leg, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have our meeting plank, hand and knee. We tap for 5, reach out. 4, tap down. 3, 2, and 1. Bring that hip down, shake it off, shake out the one side. We are almost there. All right, this time we are going to bend both knees. Bring the elbow, actually, we have our bent and straight leg variation. So bottom leg is straight, top leg is bent behind, pressing into that elbow, which means we are almost done this side. From here, pick the waist and the side of the ribs away from the ground, and then press into the elbow, lifting the hip away from the ground. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, float that top arm if it feels all right. Holding 3, 2, 1, lower. Ooh, take a little pressure off, and we're gonna find that bottom leg floating. Here we go, let's lift into it. Holding 3, 2, 1. Let's move the top arm. Take it up and lower. Remember, you can come to the hip. Keep pressing those ribs away from the ground. Totally an option here. The goal is to find your plank where it feels the best. Set that hand down. We're gonna lift that bottom leg up. Squeeze. So we did just float the bottom. Lift and lower. Bend. Oh, we have to do our meeting planks. So pressing into the back foot, reaching the arm up. Elbow and knee meet, or hand and knee meet. Tap, down, 3, tap, 2, tap, last one, and lower down. Whew. All right, now we get to go from our knees. All right, so knees come both down, and they're both bent. Pressing again, away, open the chest. Let's find our side plank here. So pressing the palm into the ground, lifting the hips, maybe lifting that hand to float. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting the bottom leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand comes in front and it moves up and down. This is our moving plank. Last one on this side. And move the bottom leg. We lift and lower. 3, 2, 1. Let's finish it with our meeting plank. Meet hand and knee, tap down. Keeping that waist away from the floor. Hip can come down at any time. Last 2. Last one, lower it down. Whew. Swing the legs out and around, shake it out. We are done one side. All right, that's the tricky thing with side planks, is that we gotta get them done on both sides. So, we are coming down, starting just as we had on the other side. Hand is going to be below your shoulder. I'm gonna just adjust my mats here to make sure that my hand and my knee are supported. So I like the heel of my hand to be on my mat and my fingers to be off. It just helps lighten a little bit of the pressure on my wrist. So I'm going to stack my legs from here. Again, we're not sinking into that arm. We lift up and away, pulling the waist away from the ground, drawing the ribs in. Holding here, we found our first side plank on this side. Already in it. Let's take that arm up, let's float it. Ooh, this arm feels heavy now, doesn't it? We hold 3, 2, 1. Set it down in front. Fingertips can rest for balance, lifting the top leg, holding. So the distance between our hip and our hand, it's a shorter plank here. Take it down. So that's our short plank. We're gonna move our short plank. So find your floating arm. We lift it up to the sky, lower down in front. Finding that engagement through the side, through the obliques. Front of the body drawing in, narrowly staying between the slice of a toaster. Take the finger down. Let's move our bottom body so that leg lifts up and lowers, up. Now it's tempting to shift and we'll drop the weight. Keep pulling up. Maybe support your lower ribs with your opposite arm. 2, 1. All right, meeting plank in this position. We take hand to knee, tap down. So when they're coming together and they're tapping, you might feel a little tremble through the front. That little core earthquake, that's a great thing. That's exactly what we were looking for. One more. And shake it out. All right. This time we are going hands and our knee. So our hip is going to leave the ground if that feels okay. If you would like to leave your hip on the ground, repeat this set with your hip on the ground. So we stack our knees, we press into the heel of our hand, lifting the chest, hand to the hip. Here we go. Peel those hips away from the ground. Holding here. How does this feel? Does this side feel different than the other side? Do you want to continue here? Do you want to set that hip down? You make the decision. We're going to move our arm. Take it out in front. Oh, we're going to float it first. So we hold here. We reach a little higher to the sky. 2, 1. Hand back to hip. Lift that top leg. Hold. Holding. 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. Now we'll move that arm. So this is our upper body moving. We will move to our lower body. After 2 more reaches, up. Bring the hand back to the hip. Top leg moves and lowers. Now try to lower with a lot of control, drawing, zipping up the fly of your pants, holding everything in the lower core in. 2 and 1. All right, we've moved. Now we're going to meet. Reach out, tap the knee, and bring it back. Tap. Here we go. In, reach out, lengthen your plank, length of a plank, length of a plank. You can do it. How long is your plank? Last one. Lower the hips. Take a little off the wrist, shake them out. All right, here's where we bend the top leg, extend the bottom leg. Hand is still on the ground. From here, our back leg is helping lift us, helping support our weight. We are gonna hold, float, move, and meet. You know the drill. So press into the hand, press into that back foot, pick the hips off the ground, find your side plank, and hold. Drawing that lower belly in. Let's float the top arm. Ooh, how are we doing? How does this side feel? All right, shift some weight into your back foot. Bring the hand down, floating the bottom leg. An inch off the ground. 2, 1. Set it back down. Hand comes in front. We move the upper body. 5. Lower. Did you see me almost tip there? That's all right. It was just extra core work to keep me up. I'm okay with it. 2. Last one. Hand back to hip. We move that leg. 5. Lower. 4. I'm going to move a little smaller. See if I can control it. 2. And 1. Time for our meet. Hand to knee. 5. Tap it out. 4. Exhale when you reach out. 2. Last one. And lower the hips. Take both legs out straight. Shake out the wrist. We have our last variation on our hand. So spread the palm, thumb points forward. We roll over onto that hip. Take the top foot in front. Take a deep breath, because we know we're gonna shake here. We start with our hold. So press into the feet. See how the hold feels on this side. Do you want to bring one knee down to the ground? You can. Float the arm. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower the hand. Let's see if we can float that top foot. Gently soften that elbow. 3, 2. Set it down. We're going to move that front arm. We open 5, lower, 4, 3, 2. Last one, take it to the hip. We move that leg. 5, down, 4, 3, 2. Last one. We have our meat. Reach out. Woo, reset. Here we go. Tap 5, lower. 4, 3, 2. Feeling that shoulder. 1, lower. Woo, take a break. That's right. It's not all about the core. Your upper body is doing a ton of work, especially in these side planks. All right, the good news is we are done balancing on our hand. We are going to come down to our forearm. So what we want is that our hand is bent, and we want our arm not up by our head, but pointing out to the side. So my fingertips are going to be pointing towards you rather than here. This is going to give me a little bit of an extra balance, whereas here it gets a little tippy, and it can be a little hard on some people's shoulders. So we are kicking those legs out straight. Remember here you can bend the bottom leg, and I just might. From here, flex the feet, open the chest, draw the lower waist in, press up, find our side plank. All right, lifting the top arm. I'm gonna bend that bottom knee. I always feel like I can press my hips a little higher when I lower my bottom leg. Hand to the waist, let's float the top leg. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower, take that arm in front, and we float 5. So lowering a knee, there's no shame there. My plank feels stronger. And when my plank feels stronger, I feel better. Take that hand down. Let's lift that top leg. 5, 4. Exhale. Last 2. Time to meet, hand and knee. Here we go. Tap. Now making sure that that bottom hip isn't bending. We're not curling into a ball. Shoulder is staying over that elbow. 2. Last one. Lower the hips down. Press yourself up. Roll that shoulder out. We are almost done here, but we are now going to bend the top leg, straighten the bottom leg. We've switched which leg is bent, so this is going to be a different challenge. We start with our hold. So pressing into the ground. I've just got to adjust where I am on my mat here. Shoulder is over top of the elbow. We press up and we hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take that arm up. Find your float. 3, 2. Lower the hand. Press the weight into the back foot. Lift that foot. 4, 3, 2. Set it down. Take that arm up. We move. 5. Lift. 4. Still pressing into the arm. It is tired. It is shaking. Last one. We lift that bottom leg. 5, 4. We can finish this. We will. We are strong. Last one. Let's meet hand and knee. Here we go. Tap 5. Only 4 more. Long plank. Elbow to foot. 2. Last one. And lower the hip. Come on up. Shake it out. Last one on the elbow on both knees. So knees are both bent. Only the bottom leg is actually on the ground. From here, we are picking the waist up. Remember, we're not letting our shoulder collapse. Wide chest, open to the side. Let's find our side plank here in a hold. So lift those hips and hold. 4, 3, 2. Lift the arm, find your float with the upper body floating. 3, 2. Lower the arm. Float the lower body, hold 4, 3, 2, moving plank with the upper body, arm reaches up 5, lower, 4, lower, 3, woo, 2, and 1, hand down, leg lifts, 5, we move. How are we doing? Oh, I'm glad this is the last side. Last 2, last 1, hand reaches, we meet, tap hand to knee, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Woo, hips come down. Swing those legs out in front. Give those arms a little cross in front. Give yourself a hug. Take those arms back. Lift the chest. Tip the ear to one shoulder and to the other side. Hands come to the ground, fingers point towards you. Press the chest up towards the sky. Let the core expand. Chin can come down to chest or tip back wherever that feels good to you. And then bring the chin in, bring the ribs down. Hands come back to your legs, roll the shoulders out. I hope you found a new way to side plank today, and I hope you'll tune in again next week. All right, thanks so much for doing the class today. I hope you had a great time and that your body is feeling a little warmer than when we started, and that maybe you found a new position of plank that feels good for your body and you can use that in your workouts moving forward. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next week. Take care.